40 minutes. My account is limited. So we're just going to talk about social media. That's what we've been talking about in the group, and then building relationships. So anyone have, I'm going to open the chat. Oh, I see. Hey, no Mike tonight by Becky. Hi, Teresa. Do you guys have anything to celebrate? I know Becky does. Becky helped someone with the PIO Challenge Pack. Yay. How about you, Teresa? How are you doing? Good. All right. All right. I'm going to get started. Just, I started PIO with her. Oh, yeah. PIO is going to be good, especially with your ankle. Good, trying to get caught up. Yes, catching up, man. So just a quick tip on that. There's a Facebook video downloader that you can use. My husband actually found it so that you can download these videos so you're not using your data, and they download right to your phone. I will ask him how to get to that after this in case you guys want that. So we're not doing it right now. He's next to me. So anyway, we are talking about social media. And I should have grabbed it. I forgot it. I don't know if anybody in here is on the Surge to Summit Dream Team group, but her call this week was really good. It was actually this morning, and she said something amazing that I loved. Enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. And so I feel like that quote, I'm going to say it again, enthusiasm is common, endurance is rare. I feel like that quote applies to pretty much everything in life. So you're a challenger, you're excited, you do really well, you post every single day, you show up to the videos, you do your workouts, right? And then the first week ends and you realize, oh, I still have to do this. And it kind of wanes. So the enthusiasm, everybody has that in the beginning, but it's the endurance that's going to get you to your goal. And so that's kind of where we are in this group, right? So the first month, people were excited. They just signed up. They're ready to do everything. And then we get into the grind, right? You might have had some encouraging things happen, like you got a few challenge packs, or you might have even got somebody who's interested in coaching, and now you're starting to move out of your warm market and things aren't moving as quickly, and you're into that where you're getting into your endurance. So biggest lesson is keep it up. I don't know if you guys have been reading The Compound Effect, but it's those small actions over time that lead to big results. And you're not going to see huge, just like with your health and fitness, you're not going to see huge results right away. It's over time. So we're going to talk about that today, social media. You guys, I'm sure, already know, don't post like the stock images from Beachbody. Be posting about yourself, your life. You're sharing your story. And I feel like we overcomplicate this a lot, but you want to be sharing your story. Think about who you were when you were considering trying a challenge pack, who you were when you were considering being a coach, and talk to that person. That's who you're talking to. And make sure that I've gotten bad. I'm trying to get back at this because my whole life I feel like is Beachbody right now. But I've gotten really bad about balancing my social media posts so that they're not all about Beachbody. That's kind of like my whole life right now, but it's not my whole life. It's just added into my life. So make sure about 75% of what you're sharing is your life, not Beachbody. So I have some slides I was going to go over. I actually made this for one of my team calls. I'm going to share my screen. Share screen. And it's just really quick. Building relationships. So we do this we tell our story through our social media, and then as we start inviting, people have been seeing our posts on social media, and we've been building our credibility. People have been seeing this is legit. This is something she's going to stick with. She's getting results from this. It's changing her life. And I'm not talking about just you're losing inches, you've lost weight. Those things are great. But talk about other things too. What else has changed for you? For me, confidence. I try to share that all the time. I never in my life have had confidence. And my husband says all the time, the confidence that I've gained just by being a coach, he would pay for that. But we get paid for to do that, right? So like making friends. I never have been good at making friends. I've learned how to do that through coaching. So I would encourage you, sit down, write a list of the things that have changed for you since you have been coaching, since you've been doing Beachbody. I bet the list is bigger than you'd think. And think about how to turn those into posts. And so as you're doing that, one of the videos, I don't even know where it was anymore because I've watched so many, but she was talking about when you tell a good story, people, when they're reading it, are not going to be thinking about you. They'll be thinking about them. So like when I tell a story, this is an embarrassing story. I share like everything, share the things you struggle with, especially, but I've shared before how I used to be able, I still could, I bet I would feel terrible, but I used to regularly eat an entire hot and ready pizza by myself. And that surprises people because I'm always posting my workouts, I'm posting my clean eating, but I want people to know I've struggled too, so they relate to me. So that's really embarrassing. It was at first for me to post, but since I posted it, I've had people say, wow, I had no idea that, you were a person that did that. I remember watching Shannon and I thought surely there's no way that she's ever even tasted cake. And if she did, she wouldn't like it, right? Because look at her, she looks amazing. But I remember before I started coaching, she posted a picture around Halloween time of a Snickers bar and one of those like mini Snickers. And she said how much she loved those. And that was what she was planning on cheating. And I was like, what? She's had a Snickers bar? It shocked me. So make sure you're sharing everything. Don't just put up pictures of you working out. Put up picture when you have a donut, because let's be real, you're going to have a donut. At some point in your life, it's going to happen. You're going to have a piece of pizza. It's going to happen. Share about it. Show that to people so that they know that you do these things, right? You're not just this Beachbody robot. So anyway, what happens as you're building your social media? And also, you're doing this with your free groups. You're building these relationships. I'm trying to segue. I'm trying to think about all the things I want to say because I feel like we have a very limited amount of time. But so everyone in here has been working on a free group, right? And I know a lot of you have been struggling with the fact that not very many people are participating. Don't be discouraged by that. People are still, I guarantee, are still reading your posts. They're still getting value. And the whole point of the free group is to add value to people's lives, to build credibility with you so that they see, oh, she's not just after my money. She does want to help me. And so that's what you're doing with those free groups. So for my free groups, even still, I get a lot more interaction now just because I have more people. I run them with my coaches a lot of the times, but I just kind of treated it, if I was getting no interaction, as kind of like practice. And I'd put my posts up and I'd put my assignments up. And if I didn't get anything, I didn't get anything, but at least I was getting practice, right? Then I would follow up, and I always did private messages. If it's a 1 week long group, I send them a message on the Sunday before it starts. Hey, just checking in to make sure you're ready for the free group. I send one around Wednesday. Hey, just checking in to see if the posts are helpful. Is there anything else that I could add? Are there any other questions that you have? Because a lot of times I'm doing like a recipe share or like a group about meal planning. What questions do you have? And a lot of times they say I'm doing well. Or I ask, have you had, and then at the end of the group, so around like Saturday or Sunday, I'll send them a message. Hey, just checking in. Have you had a chance to try any of the recipes? Did you finish the push-up challenge, or just following up on whatever we do? And a lot of times the people that respond say, oh, it was really great. I did much better with my water, or I tried the white chicken chili and my husband actually liked it. But they never posted that. They never liked or commented. I had no idea that they were even reading the post, but they were. So remember, people are shy. This is a quote that I really love from Chris Downing. You have to be more confident, you have to be stronger, you have to be better because there are people out there that need you to empower them. That's what we do as coaches. Think about how you were when you reached out to your coach the very first time. Were you nervous? Did you reach out to her the first time that you wanted to reach out to her? Did you reach out to her the second or fifth or 20th? I didn't. It took me a year to reach out to Shannon. And then from there, it took me a few months to pull the trigger. And so think about this. You're starting your very first free group. This is, for a lot of you, for a lot of people that are in the free group, the first time that they're doing anything with you. So they're still nervous. They're still unsure. They're not comfortable yet. And so it's our job to make them comfortable and to help them come out of their shell. We provide the opportunity for them to come out of their shell. We take the first step for them. That's what inviting is. And so how do you build that trust? How do you help people become comfortable? Through building relationships. And so I did this as a team call, these slides, and I feel like it was helpful with them. So in college, I had a professor tell me that in America, when we ask the question, how are you? We don't really mean it. We don't want to know. It's just kind of like a greeting. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. And then it's done. Most of the time, the person you're asking isn't fine. Their day is terrible, but they just say, I'm fine, because it would be rude to be like, well, do you really want to know? Because the other person usually doesn't, right? As coaches, when we ask someone, how are you? We mean it. That's what building relationships is. It's not just an exchange of pleasantries. We are checking in on people to see, no, really, how are you doing? As a coach, it's our job to see people. I remember when I was new, I just had my son. My husband works construction, so he's gone all the time in the summer. We never see him. It was just me and my son. It was my first time with a newborn. I was very lonely and tired. I never got to sleep. A lot of you have kids, you know how that is in the beginning. And I had no adults around. I was lonely, tired, kind of depressed. And my sister-in-law, who lives far away, sent me this message that was very sweet, just telling me that I was a really good mom and how impressed she was with how I kept things together. Just a really encouraging message. And at the end, she said, I see you. That's a really simple term, or a really simple phrase, but that's our job as coaches, is to see people and make them feel seen, to make them feel important, like their struggles are important to us. Their accomplishments are important to us. Their lives are important to us. And you'll find coaching isn't about, you don't have to know about fitness. You don't have to know the muscle groups. You really don't even have to know about nutrition and clean eating. But what you do have to do is care about other people and really care about where they're at and what they're struggling with. People don't need the knowledge as much as they need the understanding. So how do you get that way? So you ask questions and you be interested, genuinely interested in the person you're talking to. So when you're talking to people, just talk to them. Take Success Club and challenge packs. And I need this many challengers in my group, or I want her to be my coach. Take that all out and just have a conversation and talk to people and see them for who they are and where they're at and what they're going through. When they're interested, find out why. So I used to word vomit because I'd get so excited and I just want to tell them everything. When you do invite them to a challenge group or a free group or whatever, and they say, yes, I'd be interested in more information, always ask them why. And I have some probing questions that was shared in another really good inviting group that I have got in these slides, which I uploaded in the files section. But you really want to ask those questions, and don't ask 15 questions so they say, yes, I'm interested. Don't list off all these questions. Work them in naturally. So I always say, do you mind if I ask you, what has you interested? What are your goals? And after they say what has them interested, that always find out what are their goals. What do you struggle with? You're really genuinely figuring out what they need and how you can help them best. So no word vomiting. When they ask, what's the challenge? You always ask them about themselves. And then just make it really simple when they ask what the challenge is. We focus on 3 things: incorporating daily exercise, learning how to clean eat, and then accountability and support. And I mean, I keep it really, really simple now. I've been doing voice messages. You can do voice messages through Messenger. That helps so much in people getting to know you, and they can hear that you're genuine, and it's like you're having a conversation. I actually just saw that you can now do video messages through Messenger. I'm going to start giving that a try. You can only talk for 15 seconds, so that might be limiting. I kind of talk a lot. Think about your objections and why you decided it was worth it. We already talked about that. What were you nervous about? Make a list of all the reasons why you didn't want to do this and turn those into posts. Think about what Beachbody has done for you. We talked about all that. All right, so go forward. Warm market. You guys just started, so you're still in your warm market. That's the people you know for real, who are your existing Facebook friends. What I did when I became a coach, so I didn't think I would get anyone to join my group. I thought, well, my mother-in-law will probably do it because she already exercises and she wants to be nice to me. And so she'll probably do it. I was thinking maybe I can get 5 people. My first challenge group, I got 21 people. I was shocked, but how did I get those people? I went through my entire friends list, which was like 200 and something people back then, and I invited every single person, and I told them why I was inviting them. And back then, I didn't know all this stuff about asking questions. To be honest, I didn't care. I was just excited because I had just finished my first challenge group. It changed my life, and I wanted everyone to do it with me. People can pick up on that enthusiasm. So I went through and I invited everyone in my friends list, said, hey, I just started this new thing. I just finished my first challenge group. It changed my life. I'm going to start my own. And I was going to see if you wanted to do it with me. 21 people out of about 200. So keep that in mind. They say one person for every 10 that you invite is going to actually take you up on it. So catch up on life, ask about them. Always make the conversation about the other person. Make your win about their win. So just, again, be genuinely interested in what the other person is doing, what they're up to. I always, before I message anyone, I look through their profile just to see what they're up to. I like and comment, hey, did you try this recipe if they shared a recipe, or your daughter was adorable at her dance recital, because people are posting all these dance recital pictures and their daughters are so sweet and cute. And so I tell them that. This is something that I've really adopted. Think about how many times you think something nice about another person, but you don't tell them. Why? Why don't you tell them? I've kind of made it a personal challenge for myself. If I think something nice about someone, I tell them. I don't hold it back. That makes the other person's day. Think about you. If somebody just randomly told you, I really like that shirt you're wearing. Where did you get it? That makes you feel good, right? Why would you not want to make someone feel good? But I never, before I started coaching, would do that because I would feel awkward. I didn't want to take up their time. I didn't want to feel like creepy because it's a stranger. Why would I tell them that their shirt is cute? And now I always do. And it's funny because I used to be such an introvert and scared to talk to anyone. My husband went with me to one of my son's classes, and I was talking to this other mom there, and he said, oh, how do you know her? Did you meet her at the library? I've never met her in my life. But sorry, I'm playing with aloe. I just talk to people, everyone, stranger or not, like I know them, and I tell them if I think their kid is doing a great job. Who doesn't like being complimented on their kids? We go to the Children's Museum, we go to the park, we go to a lot of places where there are a lot of kids. And if I see a kid that's doing something good, I tell his parents, that was really nice that your kid just shared with my kid without being prompted. How nice would that be to hear that kind of stuff, like just throughout life? So Try to do that for other people. That's how you build relationships. And don't do it in a way that you're expecting something out of it. When I'm complimenting people, it's just because I've thought it, it comes out my mouth. It's not like I'm going to compliment her because she might buy a challenge bag from me. No, take the challenge bags out of it when you're building relationships. That's what don't talk about Beachbody unless it makes sense. So when you're building the relationships, it's not like thinking about where you can insert Beachbody. It will naturally get there, I promise. Especially, that's why your social media is so important, that you're consistently posting. I have so many people that tell me that they like my posts because they're positive, or they're impressed that I get up early and work out. And I try to share, because I get up at 4 a.m. to get my workouts in every morning, because my little monsters wake up at 5:30. And I make sure to tell people, it took a long time for me to get consistent about that. And I tell them how I did it and why it's important to me. And then it just naturally comes to Beachbody. If it wasn't for Beachbody, there's no way. I can't go to the gym with a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I couldn't afford to do childcare for them, / I wouldn't want to. I don't have the motivation to get up and drive anywhere. No. So that's the conversation pretty much always ends up going back to Beachbody, because I'm consistent about posting. And a lot of times they ask me, or I run a free group every single month. Sometimes I run 2. And so all these people I've been talking to, it's very natural to say, hey, in fact, I'm doing a water and push-up challenge on July 10th. So it's very natural. I've been having these conversations. I just throw it in there. Hey, I'm doing this water and push-up challenge. Would you be interested in doing it with us? It's going to be fun. And then they say, what's that? Well, did you know that you're supposed to be drinking half your body weight in water? I'm doing a terrible job at that right now. So I figured it would be great to do kind of like a group and make it fun to get me back in the habit of drinking my water. Are you drinking enough water? And just talk to people. Okay, like think about, and I know you've probably heard this example before, if you went to a really good restaurant, you would tell your friends about it, right? Why would you not tell your friends about something that can change their lives when it comes to their health and fitness? That's your warm market. Getting into your cold market. So before, when I was building my friends, I started around 200 people. I think it was like 250. I'm now at about 1,200 people. And the way I built that is I just went through and I would like anyone. So here's another thing with social media. Every morning, I kind of go through and look at my posts, and anyone who liked or commented gets a private message. It doesn't matter if it's about Beachbody or not. If I posted a picture of my raspberry bushes and people liked it, I send them a message. Thanks for liking my raspberry bush post, or my post about raspberry bushes. Do you grow raspberries too? Or like, are you into gardening? Or just something to get a conversation going. And then if any of because my profile is public, you want to make sure your profile is public. When your friends like or comment on your posts, their friends can see it. So I always go through and check. And if there are any people that I'm not already friends with, then I add them as a friend and I send them a message. Hey, I saw you liked this post and that you're friends with blah, blah, blah. And I just talk to them about whatever they posted on, or I look at their profile first. Always look at their profile. And if there's someone you would be friends with in real life, friend them. Beauty Beachbody, you don't have to be friends with everyone. If it's a profile that you just don't click with, you don't have to friend them. There are so many people in the world. Groups are awesome. So I'm in several mom groups. Those are usually like crammed full of other MLM people, including Beachbody coaches. So those are not, I wouldn't suggest those. Think of other interests. Like I'm in gardening groups. I just recently started joining groups for parents with kids with autism. Let's see, what else? I don't even know all the groups that I'm in, but go to groups and friend people that way. Shannon just shared a video on this, which her suggestions on this is a lot better than mine. So in your free groups, you guys are probably getting close to wrapping up, ask for referrals. Anytime anyone says no, that they don't have time, they don't have money, just whatever, instead of just saying, okay, no problem, I run these groups every month, always add in, do you know anyone who this could help? And a lot of times they say, I don't know, or I'll get back to you. But sometimes they say yes, and they give you a name of someone who they think would be interested. So always ask for referrals. And in your free groups, I've just started recently doing this. I'm going to keep the same group open with the same people and just change the banner and the name. So I'm going to keep all those people who already said yes to my free group in the group and just keep adding. So you guys are just at the beginning of that. So instead of creating a ton of new free groups, just keep doing the same one. And then at the end of each group, ask for referrals. Say, if you guys enjoyed this group, do you know of anyone who would be interested in our next group? The focus is this. And you can offer prizes and all that. Free groups is where I've really built my cold market. And I already talked about looking at their profiles, so sending messages, add value, love on people. We already kind of talked about all of this. People want to talk about themselves. Ask someone genuinely how they're doing. We talked about that. Is awkward to it's okay, so it's really awkward to private message people at first. You assume that they're going to think, who is this girl? I don't know her. Why is she talking to me? I don't even think twice about sending people a private message anymore because I do it every single day, all the time. So in the beginning, when I started doing this, I felt really awkward, like I had an agenda. Like I was an icky salesperson who was pretending to be interested in people's lives so that I could gain something from them. Like I want to sell a challenge pack and that's the only reason I'm talking to you. And it just felt weird. Since I've started doing this, I don't feel that way anymore because instead of looking at it, going into making friends for Beachbody, I just make friends. So going back to one of the reasons I joined this challenge group, I am a stay-at-home mom. My husband is always gone. I have small children who I love to spend time with, but they're not the best conversationalists. So Facebook is kind of my window into the world. And I know this sounds really creepy. Brian makes fun of me for saying it, but I kind of look at friending new people as like collecting people. It sounds really creepy, but like, think of all the people that are out there. We just added the United Kingdom. We're going to in the fall. We have Canada. So because we have the United Kingdom coming up, I've been friending all these people in the United Kingdom like crazy. I am getting to talk to so many interesting people. I am loving their slang. Like one girl calls me Lovey, and it's like awesome. One girl just told me that she's on holiday right now. But it's like a glimpse into someone else's life that's totally different from you. And they don't have to be from the UK. Like there are people from all over the country that are so interesting. I always talk about the girl I met that was a 911 dispatcher. So interesting to talk to these people. And so I just go through and it's so cool, like looking at people's profiles, getting to see what someone else's life is like. And it's really cool because I attract moms because I am a mom. I look for moms. That's my niche market. Seeing that being a mom is the same as in the UK as it is here. But getting to just see that perspective, I don't know, it's really cool. So as you're expanding your market, don't go into it thinking, I'm talking to her because I want her to buy a challenge pack from me. Just talk to her, make friends. That's what this is all about. And a lot of people, like the 911 dispatcher, she never wanted to do a challenge group or a challenge pack or anything like that. That's okay. I still gained like a cool friend that I learned about a completely different life from. So that's probably my best advice is to sorry, I'm getting notifications. Take the challenge pack and the Success Club out of it and just talk to people. So here are some examples. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Your son. Yeah, I saw that you're a 12. Oh, so people's accomplishments. So these are two things that could be very awkward, but I've found have been the most meaningful to people. There was one of my friends who posted that she's 12 months sober, and that was a few months ago now, but I sent her a message. I sent her a voice message telling her, I saw that you're 12 months sober. What an incredible accomplishment. That really speaks to your character, your strength. I told her how amazing I thought that was. And she told me that made her day. Think about, that's kind of an awkward thing to recognize someone for, right? But I just recognize, if I think something nice about someone, I tell them now. I don't even hesitate. When I see someone's lost their pet, when I see that someone's lost a relative, I always message, because everyone has lost people, right? One of the worst parts about grief is it's very lonely. When we lost our daughter, our first child was a daughter. We lost her. She was stillborn. And one of the worst things about that was the loneliness. People don't talk to you about it because it's uncomfortable, it's awkward. And so you feel like you think about it constantly, but you can't talk about it. So I started talking to one of my mother-in-law's friends from high school that she didn't really talk to anymore, but she emailed me. And I could say anything to her because she didn't know me. She wasn't a part of my normal everyday life. She didn't know the people that I knew. So she was this safe person to talk to. And this just doesn't have to do with like heavy stuff like losing people. It's just anything in general. You're a Beachbody coach. So people start off by talking to you about their health and fitness stuff, but you are this safe place that they can talk to you about what they're struggling with and what they're going through. And I'm sure everyone who's become a coach knows that things that have to do with your health and fitness are usually attached to deeper things than just, I want to lose 10 pounds. It always goes deeper. So be that person. Don't be afraid to message someone and offer your support, offer your condolences, tell them, I'm so sorry that you're going through this. I always say to them, because it's true, there aren't any words that I can say to make you feel better, but I hope you know that people are hurting with you. And all the time I get, thank you for sending that message. I just sent a message to somebody else. She had lost a cousin. And she said, I regret not doing things with this person more. And so I wrote her this huge message about how I had felt that way about my brother. And I wrote him this huge email telling him about how I was so sorry for being such a crappy sister. And he wrote me back, I have no idea what you're talking about, because he only remembered all the times I was a good sister. So I wrote that to her. I don't know this girl hardly at all, but I told her this huge thing. And she said, thank you so much. I needed to hear that message. So as you're looking through people's profiles, you're seeing what they're going through. And if you think of something that could help them, even if you feel like it's awkward, I even started my message out that way. Hey, this might be awkward. It might be out of place. It might not be something that I should share, but I've been thinking about you and I thought maybe this could help. It did help. So I've never, ever gotten a message back. How dare you? I cannot believe you gave me condolences. How dare you? I cannot believe you recognized my son for making the honor roll. People love talking about themselves. And so be that person that is there for people, that sees people. And I've got to wrap up because it's about to cut me off. Let's see, I don't think there are any more slides anyway. So I hope that this was helpful. Post your questions. I feel like I've been really good at building relationships and like I'm getting better with my social media. Now it's just working on transitioning all of these people I've built relationships with into challengers. So post what your questions are, what you struggle with, and let's work on it together. So thanks you guys for coming on the call, and I will post this recording whenever it's done saving. Oops, I see the chat, but I can't get to it. Okay. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for coming, Teresa. Stop sharing. Okay, end meeting.